What if YouTube was not just a virtual platform, as it is now, but a full-fledged country, a sovereign state with all the YouTubers as its citizens? Let's talk about that in this episode of Two Pennies. Hello and welcome to the 5th episode of Two Pennies, a series where I pledge my views on history, philosophy, literature, politics and current affairs. In this episode, I'm going to talk about one of my recent dreams, a dream I've been having since June this year, when I started using YouTube full-time. In brief, though it is more or less a virtual platform, one can literally find anything on YouTube, from cheap pranks to intellectual debates on the gravest of issues, from ignoble ASMR to precious instructions from maestros like Steve Vai or Jobs. If I can name it, most probably I'm going to find it here. To be honest, at times YouTube almost makes me feel like Neo in the Matrix when he says I know Kung Fu after going through a virtual training session. So, being a platform that is literally the melting pot of cultures, curiosities and wisdom from all around the world, YouTube is more like Athens in the classical period or Vienna before the Great War. Such places usually are the breeding grounds for impractical dreams, which are formally known as utopias, and here is mine. Since I got the idea from YouTube, I'm calling it Utopia. The history of Utopia ought to be as old as humanity itself. But the first one usually talked about was composed by Plato, the most prominent disciple of Socrates as well as the most imaginative of all the philosophers from Greece in her golden age. In layman's terms, Plato in his Utopia proposed a tripartite society composed of guardians, soldiers and the rest. I'm going to follow his guideline, but since I am against war and bloodshed, my Utopia consists of two sections only, guardians and citizens. The citizenship is available to any active YouTuber in good standing. And for guardianship, here is my list of 11 YouTubers I have found worthy of such a responsibility. Let's bring them all on a table. Please note that this list is not ranked in any way. I'm going to randomly bring them up one by one. So here are my 11 YouTubers worthy of a seat in the Council of Guardians. Mr. Joe Hansen from It's Okay to Be Smart. Mr. Gray from CGP Grey, Mr. Michael Stevens from Vsauce, Miss Diana from Physics Girl, Mr. Derek Muller from Veritasium, Mr. Hank Green from SciShow, Mr. Tom Scott from Tom Scott, Miss Vanessa from Braincraft, Mr. James Grime from Singing Banana, Mr. John Green from Crash Course, and finally Mr. Paul Jorgensen from Lang Focus. So that's my Council of Elders or whatever you want to name it. If you disagree with the list, let me know in the comments. Better yet, you can come up with your own list. If most of the YouTubers came up with such a list, Google or YouTube could be requested to use those videos as surveys and publish the final poll. If nothing else, I believe it would be fun. Anyways, that's all for now. Hope to see you in the next episode. Take care till then. This is Amit Rahman signing off.